Hey guys, Bike Life with Rob. I am Rob. I'm going to talk to you guys today about my trip to get the van, and we're going to go into me starting the project of putting this van together. So let's get on it. So starting this van search, it's taken a lot of time, to be honest with you, searching for the right van, the right price of the van, the right stuff on the van, and not too much stuff in the van so I don't have to tear a bunch of stuff out. I finally narrowed it down to the van we're going to get, so hopefully this works out and comes through. I might have to drive a little ways to pick it up, so I'm going to rent a car. In my car now, we'll be transitioning into the wife's car so she can drop me off at the airport. Alright, I'm here. Wife's work. She's going to be taking me. Lock the car. Lock this car. Good. And switch into this car. Yeah. Rental cars. Here we go. Here we go. Leaving the airport in this Nissan Rogue. I'm so excited! The Cupcakeinator! So this is accident 2. So I was lucky at the first accident and the second accident because I was near an exit ramp where I could just get out of there. Oh, the plane just dive bombed over there. Oh yeah, he's coming right in front of me here. Oh yeah, look at that action, baby. Woo-hoo-hoo. You've never been on a highway saying you're going to New York City. Almost there. There's the van. Right there. I have this van, I'm excited, and now I'm headed home. First official sticker. Bam. Yeah, baby. Let's jump into this van build. We've got this Promaster. So let's outline a little bit of what I have planned for the van. As you can see, I have green painter's tape everywhere, and where the X is on the floor, I'm going to have the batteries and all the power stuff. Inverter, fuse boxes, etc., right in that area. Over here I'm going to have a couple of cabinets with drawers and one with a sink. Over here I'm going to have a seat for the kids to sit in, and right there I'm going to have the crapper, the toilet. I'm going to have some cabinets on the wall, some uppers, and the back side back here we're going to have a table that goes down into a queen bed for the wife and I. And then above us, we are going to have fold-down beds for the kids. So we'll see how that turns out. On the wall, I have one plate that's going to have a bunch of switches on it. Right between the seats, I think there's going to be enough room for the refrigerator. We're going to have some LED lights across the ceiling, as well as a fan in the back. It's time to get some supplies. I decided to start by running electrical wire, and there were some sharp edges, so what I did was I used electrical tape to really get rid of the sharp edge. I'd put a few layers on all the sharp areas. Now, to get my wire to stay together, I used a trick I saw in quite a few people's videos, where you just attach it to something, put it in a drill gun, and wind it up. And it worked really well, and it worked really fast. So now you can see I've got most of my wire ready, and I'm starting to put it in the walls. Pretty easy to do. Everything's very accessible. And then there you can see kind of the final product with all the wires everywhere. I did use some foam to put around the wires so they didn't rattle. Oh man! Guess what came today? The crapper. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! We're so excited. I ordered some Ford Transit seats, actually auctioned off eBay for a really good price, so I can install these for the kids. That's where she'll go. This actually was a little bit tricky. The heat shield's held on by these crazy tabs, and I couldn't pull them out, so I had to get creative. There's actually a tab in the middle of the tab. So I drilled a hole with a small drill bit in the middle, and then I screwed a screw in, and then had some pliers to pull out the middle tab so that I could pull out the bigger tab so that I could move the heat shield back out of the way so we could get some good bolts and washers and nuts in to secure that seat in.
That's fine.
We look good, right?
Yep.
We measured.
Oh yeah.
What?
You good?
I thought you said wait.
Oh yeah. Dude, perfect. That's a YouTube channel. Yeah.
Woo! Look at that. Once you start the van build, you have to place a lot of orders for a lot of things, and every day multiple trucks were coming to the house. It was quite funny. To lay out the floor, I went with rubber first on the floor to help dampen the sound. I found the easiest way to cut the rubber and to keep my utility blade good was to throw some wood underneath the rubber and then cut my cutouts so that the rubber fit perfect on the floor. You can see I'm doing that there and just trimming a few pieces that didn't come clean with the cut. And yeah, it looks pretty good. Fit pretty good around the rails, and the finished product looked great. After that was time for insulation over that. With the insulation, I made templates for where the seats were going to be because they were, a little more precise. You wanted to be close so that you didn't have huge gaps for heat, cold to get in the car or out of the car. So I used those, and they worked pretty well, as you can see there. Pretty good tight fit with the insulation. Next, I moved on to the flooring, and I used a utility blade to score, and this was pretty easy to break in half and put where you wanted. As I started to lay it, I used an adhesive on the insulation, and you let it set for a little bit, and then you lay the floor down. Wait, did we just see a mosquito there? Let's see that again. Oh my gosh, I got my citronella candle in there and I thought it was going to keep the mosquitoes away, but they were ridiculous. Anyway, oh, there went another one. In order to keep the floor tight on the glue and on the insulation so it would hold, I put weights down and helped keep the flooring on the insulation so it would adhere very well. I didn't want it moving around, so finished product looks great and still looks great. I also had a hitch installed because we are going to have the bikes on the back because of the kids in the van. I also got some cabinets during some downtime, so I had something to do. So I got those ready and stained those, and I think they look pretty good. Wife picked out the colors, so if the colors don't look good, we're going to have to blame her. Next, I wanted to take the black panels off the side door and the back doors, and to do that, I used a pair of pliers to grab these tabs on the side, and then it was pretty easy to pull them out to keep them good. This is the kill mat. This was what I was waiting for while I was painting and staining cabinets. Basically, you use the roller, a paint roller, a small one, to help adhere the kill mat to the wall. So you put a little bit of the kill mat on the wall, you grab your roller and you roll it really hard to really press it into the sheet metal, and it sticks really well. And I'm going to be honest, it really takes the echoey, vibraty, tin sounding noise right out of the van. It's amazing. Next, I was on to doing the wall insulation. Little trick I learned from doing drywall work is to use your tape measure to score the insulation. Keep the break on the tape measure, put the tape measure to the length you want, and run the end of the tape measure into the insulation. You also, when you're hanging it, I put duct tape over all the gaps to help seal off the air. Onto the roof racks, you can see the roof has these awesome little tabs that the hardware slides right onto, and it's pretty easy to put on. All you really have to do is snap the some weather stripping into the top and put the end caps on, build these rails up, and then keep the ends loose. Those things hanging down off the bar, you want to keep those loose so that you can match them up to the bolts on the top of the roof. And so when you get up there, you want to make sure you're keeping your bar level, otherwise they'll slide off either end, and then you'll have some paint damage and chipping off your roof rails. So just be careful. But they go on really easy. They go together easy. It's not very hard at all. You can slap them on pretty quick. I'm installing 4 roof rails, 2 for the solar panel and 2 for the kayaks. Next is the part everybody fears, cutting holes in the roof of your van. First, I used the adapter to mark the opening. Then I got painter's tape and put that down exactly on the lines I marked so that I wouldn't scratch the roof when I was using that device. Oh. Huh? Yeah, I almost dropped it though. I'm very glad I didn't drop that on my new floor down below. So I removed the tape and then I put the adapter back in to make sure the cut was good, and it was perfect. I laid down some more tape for the rubber sealant. I put some of that tar stuff down between the adapter and the roof. Then I did clamp that adapter, put some more rubber sealant down, put butyl tape on that, and then put the housing that holds the fan in the hole and screwed that down. After I screwed that down, I put more Flex Seal rubber sealant around the whole thing, and I really was generous with how much I put on there. After that, I dropped the fan in, screwed it in, and we were good to go. I did have spacing issues with the back roof rail and the fan, so I eventually fixed that. That's the inside showing the fan, and then that's showing the finished product in the back. I did also put a ladder on the van, and I had other video that somehow didn't record on one of the devices, but I decided to not put the ladder on the back of the van, even though that's what it was meant for. I wanted it on the side because we're going to have bikes on the back with the bike rack, and it just wasn't going to work. So thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to continue on the van build, so be sure to share and subscribe. And as always, thanks for building with us, and we'll see you on the next episode.